Good morning. I'm not sure about you, but when I feel the world coming undone, I like to bake. So I wanted to share that with you today and maybe give you a little information, a little interesting and very similar. It feels universally in the universe, it feels very similar to currently what's going on. So I thought I would make today for you cobbler and just have fun and get my recipe up here. Yeah, so without further ado, I will turn this thing around and we will get to baking. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop up some. So everything that's going on right now, let's see where I want to just have my stuff. Anyway, stuff is going on today, especially with the whole, the recent shooting of Renee Good. And it made me think, there's lots of protests going on, rightfully so. And it made me want to think about patterns. I don't know. I think the humans are interesting. The way that we think, the way that we learn or don't learn, our patterns. And it got me thinking about, what other time in history has something like this happened when our government and the person leading our country actually sends out people to incite, I'm having trouble talking today, violence sake. Because the only person I'm holding responsible for the killing of that woman is our president. He has the authority to reel back ICE. So, yeah, you can argue, oh, she was driving through whatever. And I mean, there's going to people that watch it from their own perspectives and their beliefs. That's how they're going to see it. Most people, unless you can look at things objectively. And that type of thinking is kind of rare right now, being not taught in our schools anymore. Trump wants to roll back immunizations like Denmark or something. I think I read something like that. Denmark also teaches kids critical thinking in school to better their society. So I'm just cutting up apples and slicing them, put them in there. I know some people like to chunk, their apple crisp. I kind of like slices. So, and I do not have any lemon juice because I was going to throw some lemon juice on here to help the apples not brown quickly. So I guess I better just move quickly. So I pulled up some information because yes, this does feel familiar. Hitler's SS, right? I mean, I've heard it be compared. I used to be compared to that, so that's nothing that I haven't heard or compared to. But I was curious though, as the Department of Homeland Security has already told us that this woman is a domestic terrorist. So, I wanted to see what previous people in power of countries has the laws they have put out to protect these people that they are harassing and killing in government's sake. So, yes, it was the SS. One specific statute enacted in 1933 stated that anyone who undertakes to kill a member of the SA or the SS out of political motives shall be subject to death penalty or severe punishment. I'm pretty sure I've heard those words somebody else's mouth. This meant that political violence against Nazis was criminalized in the way that carried harsher penalties, positioning these units as quasi-protected entities once the Nazi regime consolidated power. Because at this time they weren't in power, so it's 1933. At this time, ICE isn't in power like this yet, right? But they are considered federal agents, so yeah. In 1939, the Nazi government legally removed SS personnel from the jurisdiction of civilian courts. Instead, SS members were made subject only to the SS court main office and its own courts, not German civil or criminal courts. Sounds like the protection that ICE has under someone I know who's a dog killer. This meant that German judges could not try SS personnel. That's coming, I'll bet you. Anyway, this made SS almost above the law, and I think that's what we're seeing right now in Minneapolis. They're barring, and I don't know, saw somebody on Fox News like making fun of the police for being compassionate. The police being compassionate. Anyway, so yeah. So the Führer directives. Hitler issued directives that explicitly used brutality and exemptions to prosecution as policy tools. Yeah. One prominent thing of this directives was in 1942, Führer Directive number 46, which stated that in anti-partisan operations, protesters against ICE, security forces, which included SS, should act with utter brutality, and that acts committed during these operations would not be subject to prosecution. This meant that killings, harsh measures against civilians, or resistance fighters were decreed to be exempt from legal consequence. Yeah, that's coming. I mean, the January 6th rioters have already been excused and pardoned by Trump. I'm not necessarily calling them SS, but I'll bet you every one of those persons is an ICE officer. I don't know that. My guess is it's probably true. SS ideology, discipline, and internal codes. The SS was structured within its own set of internal regulations that governed, conducted, disciplined, and political loyalty, emphasizing absolute obedience to Nazi radical policies. Absolute obedience. I mean, I know somebody that demands that, and if you don't get it, if he doesn't get it, I mean, basically your life is ruined if he ruins your life. So, yeah. These internal rules helped enforce Nazi ideology within the SS and gave them a form of legal identity that was distinct from ordinary German policing or military service. I'm not making this up. This is documented history, which, by the way, people are trying to rewrite. So some of this playbook here, I'm just saying it kind of sounds familiar. And I'm just a normal American citizen who sees some bad stuff going on. I'm not really sure what to do about it other than, peacefully protesting, which is super support, and voting. That's so important. Our votes. That is what matters. Voting. Let's see. All right, so we got that. After the war, SS was declared a criminal organization. Remember the Nuremberg trials, 1946. Internal Military Tribunal declared the SS a criminal organization because of its direct involvement in war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity. This designation meant SS members itself was evidence of involvement in criminal activity unless an individual could prove involuntary service or lack of participation in criminal acts. Why do you think right now, ICE, when people are recording them, they don't want to be recorded. They don't want records of what's going on. And it's in this day and age, everything is known. Like Big Brother's always watching, cameras everywhere, and there's just digital history and traces. So, which is a good thing. I mean, everything. So my point today is I just wanted to kind of share with you, history has a tendency to repeat itself. And it seems, like I said at the beginning, it seems very familiar right now. and then the protections that's going on within the judicial federal level about this. It's kind of scary, but at the same time, this type of governing, this type of fear governing, it doesn't sustain because it's not right. And you know, there's good and evil in the world, and sometimes it feels like bad is winning, that things are bad and it's going to get worse and there's no hope, and it's scary, you know. A little side note, I have Spotify, right? And so every year, you know, they have your wrap up. And I'm serious, I think I was born in the wrong generation. Yeah, because my age on there was like, I think like 75, 73, something like that. And I mean, I'm 52. But I just, you know, I like, this is my soundtrack on Spotify. Oh, before that, you know, you heard Muse. Muse is like my favorite group. I love them. I Let Us Protest song was, I mean, in the beginning of the first song, House of the Rising Sun. I mean, you know, I grew up listening to my dad play that. Although he changed the lyrics and put it to Amazing Grace. But, which works. But I don't sing that song. But anyway, but yeah, House of the Rising Sun, and I'll see what's next here. So yep, just cutting up apples. I have one more. This is like the longest part, cutting up apples. I used to have apple core peeler slicer in Green Day. I mean, apple core peeler slicer, which is good. They are good. The Pampered Chef one. And I know I'm using this wrong knife and it's not, but I don't know, my knife's probably in the sink over there. The apples are cut. This out because we're going to use it. All right, so I have my apples here. All right, I do need to cut this. We need a half a cup of orange juice, fresh. This was my grandmother's. And you know, part of me kind of wanted to do a video because I know I've already kind of put some videos on there that are, I'm sure you can tell my view on our current president. But I wanted to show you that I'm just a normal person. I'm not AI, although I do use some filters because it's fun. Why not? If you can get rid of some blemishes. But, so I need a half a cup of this. I can go back to this recipe. No, it was not a half a cup. It was a tablespoon. This is a tablespoon. It is. All right, I have already washed these, so don't worry. I'm not just pulling them out of whatever. And so I'm just leaving them whole, putting them all in there. I'm just trying to get rid of everything from Christmas and holidays. So I do need a half a cup of sugar, or 1.5 cups of cranberries, but I don't know how many was in there. Maybe a cup. So then I need a half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm using whole wheat flour. I like that for apple crisps and stuff. 2 tablespoons. And then 1 tablespoon of OJ. We have some left over. Yay. Cheers. All right. 1 teaspoon cinnamon. This is the 2 teaspoon. You know, I don't know where all my teaspoons went. So I'll just use half of this. Half a teaspoon nutmeg. And so, yeah, it's gonna pour some salt right here. And it calls for ground ginger in the crumble, but I have some leftover candy ginger from Christmas. And I was thinking about maybe dicing it up and, I don't know, maybe kind of good, and putting it in here. Maybe I don't have to dice it. I've never really used this. I had a friend a long time ago. She was a caterer, and she made this awesome fruit salad with candied ginger. It was so good. And who doesn't love CCR? Come on. Okay. Well, it kind of cuts. I did cut a little bit. So try it this way together here. I participated in one of the No Kings protests. Well, 2 of them. And one of the people said to me, "It's so nice to have young people." And I was like, 52 is young. So, young people, we need you. We need you out. Even just standing there, having a presence. I would have loved to have been alive in the 60s, I think. I mean, I was born in 73, so really, I was a little too young to really participate in all that fun aspect, you know, that older teenagers or whatever, older young adults do. Maybe, I don't want to put too much. I do know that sometimes it's spicy, like it can be. Ginger is a spice. I mean, I usually have ginger in my tea, but it is definitely, you forget about how good it is. But I think what I put in there is actually, I'm gonna put this in my, I should rearrange it. Make sure the berries are evenly distributed. And I don't want clumps all of that ginger either, so. All right, looks good, looks good. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick. All right, time for the crumble, the good part. Okay, what we need for this is 3/4 cup of flour. You know, it's so weird because how you're grown up and taught, whether you level it or you take a spoon or you just dip it in here and, you know, do it. I guess I always watched my mom do it that way. And 3/4 cup oats. Okay. And a 1/2 cup of, I like to use dark brown sugar. And that is, and Clash, come on, this is some good music. You got music, you got history, you got food. Normal American. This is a normal America right here. We love cooking. We love we do love our community. And when we see someone get hurt, it affects us deeply. And I think the protesting and the rising up against injustice and the SS, I mean ICE, you know, anybody would have probably, who was protesting, or I mean, people have that ICE Block app on their phone. If I saw ICE in my community, I would definitely make aware. I mean, these people are cloaked in protection right now, and that's scary. All right, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, or 1 teaspoon. So this is a 2, so I do 1/2. I mean, I could just go to Dollar Tree and get some. Instead, you know, like eyeball it. And then the ginger, but I use that candy ginger. And then salt again, 1/4 teaspoon. But I watched my mom do this too, and you kind of like, okay, that looks about right. Put it in. So we're gonna mix that up a little. Also, this doesn't, oh, it does call for 1/2 cup of pecans or walnuts. I like a nice crunch and crisp, so I am going to use pecans. Uh-oh, here comes Newbie. He heard a package rattle. Hi, this is Newbie. I don't know if anybody is a Kurt Russell fan, but I grew up watching him. His movie, Strongest Man in the World. I mean, this is a young Kurt Russell, like young. And so, yeah. Anyway, Dean Higgins is reprimanding a student for eating in the classroom. And he, you know, talks about his incessant bag rattling and cracker crunching. So I don't know, whenever I hear bag, it just takes me back to Dean. All right, now we are going to cube this. This is a 1/2 cup of butter. It's probably a little, it's been sitting here while I've been doing this video, and we're already at longer than, I just want to make it a shorter video, but I just keep blathering on, and so we'll just go with it. Whoever wants to watch it can watch it, and I don't care. I'm just doing it because it's fun, and I need a distraction right now. Not to take away from the severity of and the kind of sobering time right now, but I think that was one thing. I don't know who said it. I don't think Aunt Frank said it, but I think that was one thing that was very spoken of in World War II with the Nazi regime, is just you keep your joy. You keep what you do every day and don't feel guilty about happiness. And I think this is Fleet Foxes. This is a good song too. Anyway, so yeah, we are doing this today for happiness sake. And like I said, maybe you learned a little bit today. I did. I actually, like I said, I wanted to learn about the correlation, and this is too hard to get my hand. I need a little bit more room. I remember being a little girl, and so we're just gonna crumble this. I use my hands. You know, you could use a pastry mixer. I have two, you know, just cut in the butter, but I don't know. I guess like when I make bread, I was gonna make cinnamon rolls, but I like cinnamon rolls with regular flour, not wheat flour. So we'll make this instead. But being a little girl, going into the kitchen, and you know, my mom was tall. I mean, I'm 5'10", so and she just had the longest legs. And she would just, I just remember she's at the counter and she's standing like this, you know, with her. And I just, I don't know why, but that just feels comfortable. In our family line, were we like flamingos or something? I don't know, but it feels like just comfortable. So, all right, so we're just gonna crumble this up. Crumble, crumble, mix, mix with your hands. What I was saying about the cinnamon rolls is I do use my, I have a Brayville bread maker, and I mix my dough up in that. But when I'm rolling it out and kneading it a little bit after I take it out of there, I just love working with the dough and in your hands, and there's just something therapeutic about it. So, you know, right now, today, and the days to come, and until things start to turn around, because the world's always going to be in chaos. It's how you deal with it. So deal with it baking. Came from, I mean, mom baked, my grandma baked. I mean, mom made a cookbook of old recipes. Should make one of those sometime and show you that. She did a really good job doing and it's also like a historical type of thing. Maybe we could do one of those sometime. So it's time. Our apple cranberry candied ginger crisp. So we are going to put this in the oven at 350. I already said that preheating and heated 45 to 55 minutes. And Newbie's helping look up any flour or oatmeal that's on the ground. So when we come back, we'll have apple crisp baked. All right, it's been 45 minutes and we are going to pull this apple crisp out of the oven. And drum roll. Here we go. Listen to that. Newbie, thank you for letting me know. Yes, thank you. He is a good guard dog. Aren't you? He's a rescue deputy waiting to treat somebody made yet. Okay, let's show paw. Paw. Oh, apple crisp. So I gotta have a little. I know it's hot and I'm not gonna eat a bunch, but oh, let's put a little vanilla bean ice cream on it. Friar's vanilla bean. I mean, that and apple crisp. Can't beat it. I'll just do a little because I'm sure it's very, very hot. Sing it, John. Okay, have a little bite. I hope there's tastes of that ginger in it. Okay, this looks like a good bite. This was good. There's some, I taste the ginger in it. I wonder if this is a ginger chunk. I'm gonna eat some of that with the other and make sure it's not too much ginger. I also like Uggs. Yeah, I'm an Ugg girl. So what? If you like ginger, candied ginger, if you're not like super gingery, just do the ginger. I think it was like 1/4 of a teaspoon in the crumble. So I want to share this with you today. This is today. So I'm Anna. This is my mindful trace. What trace will you leave today?